parking lot once again. How's it going, everybody? Yeah, some people have been asking why I went to this format, and I said because A, I can do this daily, and B, I have a lot of fun just, going off top of my head, because when you shoot videos, you got to shoot it, you edit it, and you can let things get lost in the translation. And whereas when I do this, plus, if I was going to do a big news video, it might be when we finally get, more information on the centenary, and it doesn't seem like that's going to be forthcoming. Yep, it's, like I said, it's going to, be a while before I get around to that again. It's just, I just seem to enjoy this more. I don't know why. It's just, more in touch, more, thing. But no, what I was thinking about this morning is, what are things out there you'd like to see make a comeback, that haven't been touched on? And I've been re-listening to, I don't know how manyth time, Graphic Audio did an adaptation of the Destroyer books. And for you folks who aren't familiar with them, that was what they based the movie Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins off of. And sadly, there was never a sequel due to circumstances and all that, despite I think the movie did relatively well. And it was a fun, enjoyable story for it. Except today it would probably be canceled because you had Joel Grey, a native Clevelander, playing the Korean Chun, which, like I said, it's crazy how things have turned, because if there was an attempt to make a TV series out of that movie, and if I remember right, they aired the pilot, I think it was against, I can't remember, it was a major event, and of course it got buried. But in the pilot, the part of Chun, who's Korean, was played by Roddy McDowall. And so, even though they used clips from the movie for the opening intro, they were trying to go off in their own direction. But like I said, it's just some things that have been popping in my head, because it was last, I think, stated in 2015, when Shane Black said he wanted to do an adaptation and, reboot that movie, try to start that franchise back up. And, sadly, it never occurred. It never happened. And Shane Black, look up his name, he's been behind a lot of things like Predator and things like that. So, it's just, sad that never happened. Now, also, people have been thinking about things in the Doctor Who universe. What would you like to come back? And it's like, I don't know. It's just, there have been so many great villains. Like I said, the ones I like to return are maybe, Omega, Sutek, things along that line. But, it's just not in the cards. It's come on, they've kind of had their time. And plus, Big Finish has done Sutek, I don't know how many times. They've done Omega how many times. And, well, hello, all you folks. Saying hello in there. So it makes you sit back and wonder. And of course, we've had the Daleks back so many times. How can we forget them? And also the Cybermen. Have you heard talks about a black hole series? I'm gonna have to go back and look at that again. But sometimes you have studios try to recapture the lightning in a bottle that once was, and of course they failed miserably at it. And it would be nice to, seeing some of the further adventures of the Palomino, which was the ship from the and the crew was on for the movie The Black Hole, before they landed on the Cygnus and everything went weird from there, right down a psychedelic mind trip. Because if I remember right, the story was they didn't know how to end the movie. So they came up with this wild, crazy stuff that ended up, in the ending. I'll have to go back and double check that. It's been a while since I read up on the black hole. But one of the things the captain says, if we've been in tougher scrapes than this, and we'll get out of this one. And then you got to wonder, what happened to them before that? Before this particular adventure. And also given the fact that, we've got, really fertile ground out there as far as space exploration goes, between Star Trek, the Orville, and other things along that line, it wouldn't be a bad, ground to go down, or road to go down if they do it properly. Oh, okay. I was beginning to wonder what the heck they're doing back there. So the thing about today, what would you like to have come back? Is there any characters, movies? I know it's pretty weird here too. Like the clock is, the thermometer here is saying like 70 degrees, but it feels a bit balmier than that here to this morning. Or if you're a fan of the original Galactica and you want to really cry a tear, there's still conversations and audios and some picture presentations out there from when they were going. I think it was back in '99. There was going to be a continuation series of Battlestar Galactica, and it was going to be under Bryan Singer. If you don't know who that name is, I don't know. The guy who brought back X-Men, and his buddy, I think it was Mikel DeSanto. They were going to run that, and then things happened. Sadly, life, threw its curveballs at them, and they had to abandon production on it. And sadly, they had already had. It's funny how much, I don't. At least in my mind, they do have some pictures of props and things, and concept art of what would have happened. And one of the things they had already built a couple of full-size Vipers, if I remember right, and they also had meticulously started rebuilding the bridge from the Galactica based off the original series, and they were going to add in things that were obviously added later, because it was being upgraded, along the journey. And sadly, that all wound up in a landfill in Canada. And it's, plus, when you look at some of the stuff they were coming up with, the Cylons were going to be a far, far deadlier foe than they were originally. And it was going to pick up, way into the future, but they had already had, if I remember right, most of the original cast was coming back for that series. Unlike Galactica 1980, where, okay, we'll give the fans what they want, minus the entire cast except Lauren Green. And then they threw in Herb Jefferson every now and then. And of course, they had the one episode with, Dirk Benedict coming back as Starbuck for one episode, which was probably the only good one of Galactica 1980's run. We'll give you what you want. We'll just dilute it. We'll water it down so much it'll be like American beer to to Australians. It'll be, and I'm thinking of the old Monty Python routine there. Okay. So just some ramblings this morning, and I got somebody just pulled in on a motorcycle with a headlight so bright that I'm still seeing the after image of my corneas. On the back of my retinas. It's like, why don't you just stick that thing up in the lighthouse and spin it around, Sheesh. Something about meteorites? Don't tell me about meteorites. No. Oh, who cares about that orange-headed asshole? Oh, oh no, there went my monetization. I frankly don't give a damn about who's president or who isn't in this country, because it's the same thing over and over again. It's just another puppet. Oh, you mean they have to be meteors then? Because when it hits the ground, it becomes a meteorite, if I remember right. It's tech jargon. Now, fortunately, I can't see a thing here. The sky is overcast as heck. So, folks, think about that today. You know, what franchises, what characters, and all that would you like to see come back? Leave a comment in the comment box if you like. And well, yeah, give it a week or more on that reply from the BBC, Mark. I read your letter and all that, found it very interesting. But it usually takes them a while to reply, because I usually get a mountain of those. But I've talked to other people who've written and gotten replies. So you never know. It's just when it's going to come. Well, folks, remember everybody today got to run in. So I just looked at the time. Be kind, be calm, be safe, but above everything else today, please be kind. And hopefully we'll see you all in the future. So take care, everyone, and remember, as Vincent said in the movie The Black Hole, a wolf is still a wolf, even if it hasn't eaten your sheep. Take care, everybody.